Hey everyone, Johnny Reps here. Today I want to talk about something that's been blowing up online all over the place lately. Sodium supplementation and sodium intake. You've probably seen influencers saying stuff like,
just water alone does not hydrate you. Just drink salt water in the morning. Before exercise, you should take some sodium. Your performance can drastically increase.
For your cells to utilize water and fluid, they need the electrolytes, and sodium is one of the most important parts. Without it, the water not only doesn't get absorbed in the cell, it actually will dehydrate you.
Why is daily electrolyte replacement so important? Electrolytes help maintain a stable blood pressure, which can decrease your risk of hypertension. You rarely have to worry about taking too much.
You're dehydrated because you don't get enough electrolytes. Salt your water to improve your workouts. But here's the truth. For most people, you already get enough sodium, and for many of you, you already actually get way too much. Unless you're training for hours in extreme heat or doing extreme endurance events, adding extra salt to your diet might not just be unnecessary, it might also be harmful. Let's unpack what's really going on here, the science, the hype, and the bad logic behind it all. The average North American consumes 3,400 milligrams of sodium daily, according to statistics from the CDC. That is well above the recommended 2,300 milligrams daily recommended by the CDC, the World Health Organization, Health Canada, and pretty much most governing bodies. Most people actually have no idea how much sodium they're actually consuming. Even stuff that doesn't taste salty, like breads, soups, sauces, and meals you eat out at restaurants, often contain a large amount of sodium, and this adds up quickly. True sodium deficiency in the general population is extremely rare, and that's because your kidneys tightly regulate sodium homeostasis. They excrete extra sodium when your sodium intake is low, and they retain sodium when your sodium intake is high. So if you're eating a normal diet, your sodium balance is already being regulated 24/7, and it's very unlikely that micromanaging it is going to help you. When sodium intake is truly low, you can experience hyponatremia, which is when your sodium blood levels plummet dangerously low. Symptoms can include headache, fatigue, nausea, severe aches and pains, confusion, and in severe cases, seizures or even coma. But here's the thing, that condition is almost always caused by excessive fluid intake or excessive sweating without replacement, not just low sodium intake or slightly lower than recommended sodium intake. Research from Hugh Butler et al. And Rosner-Curvin 2007 shows that exercise-induced hypernatremia mainly occurs in endurance athletes consuming an excessive amount of water over long periods of time, not something your average person is going to be doing. For recreational lifters training for an hour in an indoor gym, this just isn't a realistic concern. On the other hand, hypertension, stroke, and cardiovascular disease, the risks of all of these are increased greatly with chronic high sodium intake. A 2014 meta-analysis in the New England Journal of Medicine found that sodium intake above 2,000 milligrams per day actually causes about 1.6 million deaths per year. And a study from 1996, I know it's a while ago, but its methodology is still solid, showed that there's a clear positive relationship between high sodium intake and high blood pressure across multiple populations. So when someone online tells you that adding more sodium to your diet is somehow going to make you healthier or perform better, it completely ignores decades of data showing exactly the opposite trend. To play devil's advocate, there are situations where sodium supplementation might make sense, mainly in endurance and extreme sport situations. For example, a position stand from the American College of Sports Medicine in 2007 supports sodium replacement in exercise lasting more than 2 hours in hot, sweaty conditions. In those situations, athletes lose about 1 to 2 grams of sodium per liter of sweat. So replenishment does make sense, or at least it could. Because even then, the evidence is not clear on whether or not supplementation improves performance in such instances. In fact, a 2019 systematic review from the European Journal of Applied Physiology showed that sodium supplementation actually had no consistent benefit on thermoregulation or endurance performance compared to simply drinking water and just regularly maintaining adequate dietary sodium. Electrolyte brands can sell a scoop of sodium, potassium, and flavoring at a 1000% markup and call it a dietary supplement or a performance booster. And influencers latch onto this because it's an easy product to promote. It feels scientific and it gives people the illusion of doing something optimal. Sorry about all the scare quotes, but I think this video needs them. The thing is, most of these claims just don't hold up. Even the International Society of Sports Nutrition in 2021 said that outside of endurance scenarios, there is no evidence to support that sodium helps improve endurance, hydration, or recovery in strength athletes. The idea that low sodium equals poor performance, high sodium equals good performance, it just doesn't track. That's like saying if someone with low iron benefits from iron supplements, therefore everyone should take iron supplements for better oxygen uptake. It just doesn't work that way. Our bodies work best in homeostasis, and adding an excess of something that's already balanced by your body doesn't push performance, especially when data doesn't support this. What it actually does is make your body work harder to get back to normal. Studies like one from 1999 in the European Journal of Applied Physiology showed no ergogenic benefit of sodium supplementation. And this was done on trained athletes under normal exercise conditions. So if your sodium levels are normal, and for 99% of gym goers, they are, taking more does not improve your performance. It actually adds stress to your kidneys and cardiovascular system. That's what it really does. Too much sodium can lead to bloating, water retention, high blood pressure, and long-term stress on your kidneys. Kidneys can handle fluctuations, but when they're forced to chronically excrete excess sodium, it increases urinary calcium loss and actually might contribute to giving you something like kidney stones. So yeah, unless you're training for hours on end or working toward an ultra marathon, you don't need to be supplementing and adding in extra sodium. Your body already has a world-class regulatory system in place. Drink enough water, eat a balanced, good, healthy diet overall, and let your body do the rest. Let physiology do its goddamn job. If you found this video helpful, drop a comment below and/or share your thoughts. Share this with your friends and family. Hey, share it with your enemies if they really think sodium intake and supplementation is important. And the next time someone says, hey, you'd be better hydrated if you just salted your water, remember that hydration isn't just about dumping minerals into your liquids. It's about balance. Sometimes the simplest approach is still the smartest one. I'm Johnny Reps.